Hey guys, hope y'all doing good today. Let me know how my voice sounds if you can hear me. Gonna give it a couple minutes for everyone to get in here, and then we will go ahead and get started. What's going on, AJ, Victor, Gym Hunters on top, Brian, Bodify? Good to see you guys in here. Again, regulars as usual. Always love to see you guys join and get in on this alpha. So a lot of stuff happened over the past few days, guys. We're gonna talk about the drop. We're gonna talk about some news items. We're gonna talk about where I think Bitcoin's going over the next week, 2 weeks, and when I think we're going to bottom out. What's going on, Tim, CH, Adonis, Pixel, Tennessee, K Connor, CI, Luca, Usama, Fyodor, Amir. Awesome people, guys. Awesome. I'm actually going to get something to snack on real quick, and I will be right back. Trigun, Magic, good to see you guys. Manigo, Marlon, the Trend Trio. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Cool. They said sounds good. Awesome, guys. I'll be right back. Give me like 1-2 minutes. All right, guys. I am back. Awesome. Okay, sweet. All right, so I just had to get a protein bar, as you know. Always have that ready to go. But let's see. A few other comments on here. What's going on? Adrian, Sukwinder, SEO, Tobias, Bori, Fahad, Pario, Sparakos, Hardfax, Bromes, Tip Topper, Bori, Dreamer, Amzonia, Solid Magic. Awesome, guys. A lot of familiar faces in here. I will get to your comments, but let's go ahead and get this live stream started. I'm going to go through everything, and then at the very end, I'm going to answer you guys' questions because I know some people are on a tight schedule, and they need me to cover everything before answering the question. So before I get started, guys, if you could please like the live stream. It's going to help so much. It's going to help spread Gym Hunters to the masses, spread this channel to the masses. So I really do appreciate it, guys. Much love. But with that, let's go ahead and get started. So what happened in the market over the past 24 hours, really the past 12 hours? We got over $1.7 billion of liquidations, guys. This is the largest number that we've seen in, 3 to 4 months, if maybe more than that. And this is something that you guys, I always look for, is I look for when we have a large number of liquidations, specifically over $1 billion, because it historically marks the bottom within 1 to 3 days. Now, I caution you, this is a local bottom. This isn't a bottom that meaning that we can't go lower after a few days, meaning basically we'll have a bounce. It could be a dead cat bounce, and then we'll probably go lower after that, and then we'll go higher, okay? So I'm gonna show you guys exactly the Bitcoin chart that I'm talking about and exactly what I mean when I talk about us potentially going lower, but this still marking local bottom with price in the meantime. So nonetheless, market makers have gotten their pound of flesh. You can see here on the 1 week, I mean, all this liquidation, just look at that cascade. I mean, they literally dug into a lot of this, right? So on the weekly, what we're seeing is liquidity build up near 118 and 118.8K. So now what I'm seeing is I'm going to be watching for any liquidity that builds below here, okay? Any liquidity that builds towards this 111K level, that's the area that we'd be looking at to say, okay, maybe we'll have one more flush, which I do still believe we're going to hit 111K. I do still believe that I don't think this low at 111.5 was it. I think that we still have a little bit ways to go down, but it doesn't mean we're not going to bounce beforehand, which I still believe we are. But at the same time, again, I'm a realist, okay? I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist. And so I do believe we still can have one more flush down. Now, looking at the 24-hour, you can see what I mean, that there's a lot of liquidity building near 111.6K. This is exactly what I'm talking about, guys. People long this wick, and now you have those liquidation levels. So do we have one more liquidation cascade to the downside, and then we have that pump? Or is it just Valhalla from here, and people got lucky, and now they're not going to get tagged? I don't think it's the latter. I think it's the former, that we're going to bring this flush in one more time, and then boom, go up higher. So we have liquidations near 114K as well. I'd love to see these licks get tagged. I'd love to see our longs print. But like I said, I'm just being patient at this time, guys. Now, let's go ahead and look at some news items. So, also real quick, before I start going over these news items, if you guys aren't following me on X at the CryptoData, always much appreciated, guys. I give you guys the best content I can, and I try to post as much as possible. So just check all my messages, my pinned messages, everything. And guys, I do post as much as I can. So again, at the CryptoData, follow me there, and you will get a lot of good info. But without further ado, let's go ahead and go over some big news items from Watch Your Guru. So over the past week, a lot of stuff has happened. Specifically, we had Google collaborating with Coinbase to add crypto payments to its new AI payments protocol. That's something big, right? You have more of these Web 2 and Web 3 companies collaborating together and partnering together, and that is what's going to help push this into innovation and push this adoption towards cryptocurrency. And that's when you're going to see that big money come in, because guys, think about it. The Web 2 space, trillions of dollars, tens of trillions actually. And now you're starting to see that flow into crypto, and it's only getting started, right? The stock market is worth how much? You know, how many trillions? Whereas Bitcoin and the crypto market's worth maybe a couple trillion. And so we still have a ways to go, guys. We still have a ways to go in this crypto market. Also, we have US in talks to set up a $5 billion fund to invest in rare earth mineral mining. Now, why is that good? Because if the economy is doing good and the US is making money, that's good for crypto, because they're one of the most pro-crypto countries in the world. And so if they do good, maybe they'll pay their citizens a stimulus check. Maybe they'll help pay off more debt. Again, there's nothing wrong with the US making more money in the sense of it's going to be a very bullish catalyst. Now, also, something to keep in mind, guys, gold is reaching all-time highs. Gold has been doing crazy. And anyone who's paid attention to gold knows that it's been running in tandem with the S&P for the past, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, a while, right? And anyone who's in the TradFi space knows that usually they're inversely correlated. Gold is a hedge against inflation, a hedge against uncertainty. You usually don't see gold making all-time highs after all-time highs, while the S&P makes all-time highs after all-time highs. It is very, very odd behavior. So what I will say with that is people don't have confidence in the central banks anymore, right? Period. They don't have confidence in the dollar. The dollar has been decreasing in value. We're going to look at the chart as well. Since the beginning of the year, over 10%, since, you know, the most since the 70s. And so, guys, it's only a matter of time before we have that flight to safety to crypto. Like, I don't think you guys realize what kind of run we're about to go on. Like, these next couple weeks where we have potentially a lower low for Bitcoin on this recent flush, that is the generational buy for this cycle. I'm telling you that right now. If we have Ethereum go to 3,700, we have Bitcoin go down to, you know, 110K, guys, generational buys. So please, please keep that in mind. I'll go over the charts. I'll tell you exactly why, but we are getting very, very close. Now, let's go ahead and look at a few other news items. So BNB has been reaching all-time highs as well. It actually got over $1,000, and CZ has been one of the best KOLs that I've known. I mean, guys, CZ has been pumping Aster like crazy, pumping BNB like crazy, pumping a lot of the BNB eco coins like crazy. And that's what you guys have to realize is these founders, they have egos, right? Egos don't necessarily have to be bad. They can be a good thing if used for good. CZ saw Hyperliquid as a competitor. He started to build Aster as a dark pool DEX because he saw the manipulation going on with Hyperliquid. And now we're starting to see Aster doing good. We're starting to see BNB Eco do good. We're starting to see attention come back to that. So hopefully you guys made some money on that. Remember, Luke is very bullish on Aster. He made that call over 3x. GG's to that. And he still thinks it's going a lot higher. because he's comparing it to Cake and Cake's run. And I know a lot of people who are comparing Aster to PancakeSwap and the run that it had. And so I do think it's very possible that Aster does have a PancakeSwap-like run. And so now it's just a matter of time. Also, we have the US and the UK to announce a new crypto cooperation deal. So now you have the US and the UK continuing to combine forces, continuing to work together. And it's funny because the UK used to be anti-crypto, and now they're actually for crypto after Trump. And so Trump has been able to negotiate with them and really push them towards the crypto side, which in general is going to help increase that adoption even quicker. So great to see on that front. You also had the Bitcoin Reserve Bill meeting, and you had Michael Saylor and a lot of other people like Tom Lee and a lot of these other big DAT treasuries. They were there and they were helping push the initiative forward for the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill. Now, something as well I want to mention is some of the biggest catalysts this year. I'll tell you what they're going to be. They're going to be the U.S. government announcing an accumulation plan for the Bitcoin SBR. It's going to be via tariff savings or gold certificates or whatever delta neutral strategy they want to use. It's going to be the Ethereum staking ETF finally getting approved because BlackRock applied for it and their record is 576 to 1. And so it's only a matter of time, right? Because then people are going to be able to restake their Ethereum, earn more APY. Institutions are going to stockpile their Ethereum. BlackRock is very bullish on it. And guys, it's just going to turn into a crazy flywheel of leveraged capital. And so it's going to be like Three Arrows Capital, except probably on steroids because now you have big institutions actually getting involved. So that's going to be something. You also have the FTX $1.6 billion refund going back to creditors on September 30th. That's something that I don't think necessarily is going to have a bullish effect, more so than the front running of that news and the perception of it. So while, it'll may take some time to get those refunds and people may not buy all at once or use that money to buy back, at the end of the day, the perception that all these people are getting their refunds in the tune of $1.6 billion could be enough to create a front run and then again support that bullish Q4 towards the middle of October. Also, let's get a few other news items. So we also have Jerome Powell, and whenever he was talking about the interest rates and the cuts and his outlook, okay, this was a big news item during the FOMC meeting, the FOMC meeting, and basically what he did, obviously 25 basis point cut, but his outlook was more neutral. So he wasn't really bullish, wasn't really bearish. And people saw that as a relatively net positive sign because the fact that he's delta neutral means that he's willing for more rate cuts this year, right? He's not outright saying, no, we're not going to have any more. He's actually open to it. And he even said himself, he's like, because someone asked him about, oh, what do you think about, a couple more rate cuts, is being priced in. And he says, I'm not saying anything, but he said, a lot of traders are pricing in more rate cuts in the future. That's literally what he said. And so guys, that's what you have to look for. You have to read between the lines, and Powell's expecting 2 more rate cuts. I'm expecting Powell to cut rates October 29th. We now have a 92% chance that we're going to get another 25 basis point cut October 29th. After that, we're going to have another one, if not in November, then December. And then at that point, you're going to see crypto really start to ramp up for Q4. And then after that, then it's going to be that telegraphing, okay, what's going to happen in 2026? I do still think we're not going to top out till May of 2026 at a 250K Bitcoin. But what's going to happen in 2026? What's going to happen afterwards? When are we going to top out? When are interest rate cuts going to happen? When's stimulus going to happen? When's quantitative tightening going to end? When's that accumulation plan going to happen for the SBR? Again, all these questions that are coming into play, at the end of the day, it points towards one thing, turning the money printer on. And that's what everyone is waiting for. Injection of capital, more stimulus, quantitative tightening ending. Guys, all those things happen, 250K Bitcoin easy. Now, let's look at some more news items. This one, just kind of funny thing here. There's a Bitcoin Trump statue with Trump holding Bitcoin outside the U.S. Capitol. Someone created this and put it out there. It's pretty funny. I thought it was fake at first, but no, it wasn't. It was real. And then this was another big news item here. So the SEC approves generic ETF listing standards, clearing the path for digital asset listings without an individual approval. This is very bullish, guys, because what this says is it says that there's going to be clear rules and regulations for getting your ETF approved for institutions. And so institutions aren't going to play this dog and pony show where you have, oh, here's submitting, oh, we're delaying it, oh, we're submitting it again, no, we're delaying it, oh, it's, not approved, you need to revise this. It's literally going to be, here's the rules and regulations, you follow them, approved. And so now we're going to see more ETFs get approved. You're going to see more institutional demand, more institutional capital flow into these ETFs. And then you're going to see the start of alt season, because arguably alt season has already started. Whereas we have, Aster, AVNT, APX, OpenAIX or OpenXAI. I mean, all of these tokens have pumped 40, 50, 100, 200, 300, 400, 1,000%. Guys, that is the beginning of alt season when you see that rotation of capital. Now, I know that Ethereum's kind of been lackluster in performance, which usually that's the indicator where it's outperforming Bitcoin and then it flows into altcoins. But nonetheless, after this little underperformance over the next few weeks, we're going to see alts really start to take off. So that's something I'm watching very, very closely. Also, you have Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong saying he's in DC working to get crypto market structure legislation passed and making sure we never have another Gary Gensler. Guys, they are putting the rules and regulations in place to make sure that if someone comes across in the SEC that's like Gary Gensler that wants to ban and sue every single crypto protocol, it's not going to be possible, right? They're going to set proper rules and regulations, and they're going to have everything laid out so there's no confusion, and that is what's going to help increase adoption, guys. That is how you increase adoption and how you help increase price accordingly. Also, like I said, BNB is reaching its high of over $1,000. Also, you have Trump saying we'll have more than 17 trillion invested into our country this year. Guys, the US having 17 trillion invested is good for crypto. It's good for the markets. Trump loves a good market, and that's what we're seeing right now. And so all this capital flowing in, you're going to see that money flow back into the market. Just wait and see. Q4 is going to be glorious. Trump even said stocks will do much better as time goes by. He is very apt to pumping the stock market, guys. Like it or hate it. I mean, I don't know why you would hate it, honestly. So he's very pumped to pumping the stock market. So in turn, crypto is going to catch some of that pump as well. So by design. So it's just a matter of time. But guys, that's amazing. We're seeing stocks all-time highs. Yeah, a lot of good things happening. Also, you had trading for Grayscale's digital large cap fund beginning, which includes the following: Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and ADA. So good to see on that. And then also you had the Trump signing the deal with China about the TikTok deal. So not sure if they have a majority stake in it or they have the company outright. But also you have MetaMask to launch in-wallet perpetuals trading through Hyperliquid. So MetaMask is starting to increase their access to different cryptocurrencies. Also, you have the MetaMask airdrop that is supposed to be soon. And I know holding Linea, if you swap for it on MetaMask and hold it, you should be eligible for the MetaMask airdrop, which is something that I was posting in the calls channel. But not sure when that is going to happen, right? Or what the criteria is. All I know is just holding for a certain length amount of time in your wallet and holding a certain amount, you will be eligible for the airdrop. So keep an eye on that for more details. Also, you have CZ saying maybe we haven't hit the real bull market yet. Guys, if we haven't hit the real bull market yet, which I tend to agree with CZ, May of 2026 makes so much sense. You know what I mean? May 2026, 250K Bitcoin. That's also coinciding with Jerome Powell leaving the Fed and GTA 6 finally releasing. Wouldn't it be poetic if GTA 6 releases May 2026 and then that's the top of the market? I mean, that would be hilarious if I ever saw anything. And granted, probably everyone would be playing GTA 6 and not trading at that point. That'd be pretty funny. But yeah, I'm expecting a top May 2026. Also, you had MetaPlanet, which is the MicroStrategy of Japan, buying $633 million worth of Bitcoin 9 hours ago. And then also you had the UK and US announcing a task force to explore cooperation on crypto regulations. So like I said, UK becoming more lenient on crypto. Then you had Deutsche Bank saying central banks may buy and hold Bitcoin on their balance sheet by 2030. Guys, this is very, very bullish. I don't care that it's 5 years away. I care what the intent is. If the intent is the banks are going to hold it on their balance sheets in 5 years, obviously there's rules and regulations in place, so it's not happening overnight. But the fact the intent is there and that's what they're forecasting, they're literally telling you buy, buy, buy because we're all going to adopt crypto. Literally, that's what they're saying. And so it's only a matter of time before this mass adoption happens, guys. And so keep that in mind. A lot of good stuff is about to happen, especially with Q4 coming on the horizon and more catalysts on the horizon as well. It's only a matter of time before we see Bitcoin breaking all-time highs. And like I said, if you guys aren't following me at the CryptoData, definitely follow me on X. Really appreciate it, guys. I post a lot of good content. Check all my pinned messages and all of my follow-ups. I post a lot of good stuff for you guys, so make sure you check that as well. But 200 viewers, 49 likes. Let's see if we can get those likes up. Much appreciated, guys. Again, hope you guys are gaining a lot of value from this. I'm going to go over a couple more things, and then I will answer you guys' questions. So if you got them, then leave them. But looking at the macro environment here, so the S&P, all-time highs. This is wild to see, guys. This is wild to see. The S&P 6690. That is something that, I mean, I'm still surprised by it, right? When you see the S&P rising as much as it has, making all-time highs after all-time highs, I become a little hesitant. I'm not going to lie, because now look at the RSI on the weekly. It's getting overbought. And what does that mean? That means we're going to have a pullback in the near future. So we had the RSI being oversold, and that was the buy signal whenever I talked about this in March. Now we're seeing it become overbought. And so I'm expecting a drop in the S&P within 1 to 2 weeks. You can screenshot this, record it, whatever you have to do. I'm expecting some type of top within the next 1 to 2 weeks. Potentially a low retracement for a week, and then maybe even going higher, because like we've seen that the S&P can actually go much, much higher, like we've seen here back in March, and then even back in July of last year as well. So it's still possible, but guys, you need to be a realist at this point and look that, okay, we may see a little bit of short-term pullback per se. Now, looking at gold, I mean, gold's been making all-time highs as well. Something I'm watching is this bearish divergence on the RSI. We keep having to move this up because it was down here, and then we kept having to move it up because gold kept making more all-time highs. So here's the thing, guys. If gold continues higher and the RSI ends up invalidating this bearish divergence, meaning we see the RSI actually break above and actually get higher like this, right? To where the RSI is making a higher high while price is making a higher high, then that's fine. Then gold doesn't have to retrace. Gold can just keep going. And so that's something that we need to watch out for. It's comical seeing gold and S&P make all-time highs like they are. I mean, I don't think this has ever happened, or if it has, it's been 40 years since it's happened. I mean, this is very unusual behavior and just telegraphs how much capital we're gonna see flow into crypto in the near future, because the distrust of central banks is so heavy right now, and even just in general, mainstream media, politics, right? It kind of adds together. But at the very least, we're seeing that distrust, and they're speaking with their wallets on this via gold and the S&P. Now, also, let's look at oil futures. So oil futures, nothing crazy here, between 60 and 70. And then the dollar index. This is what I was talking about, guys. So the DXY. The DXY has been in a downtrend now. I thought it was going to break out just the other day, but actually ended up going back down. The the RSI here, look at that, guys. It's crossing below its signal line on the weekly. When this happens, you're going to see the DXY tank. The dollar is going to tank, and you're going to see Bitcoin just pump like crazy. Whether this takes a week, because we still have 6 days until the weekly close, whether this takes a few days, whatever it happens, you're going to see Bitcoin have a nice little pump in the near future. I would be ready for limit orders near 111K if you can get them. Remember, our longs, 111.5 to 112.8. My average entry for Bitcoin, full disclosure right now, is 112.5. I may DCA down a little bit lower towards 111.5 if we get there, but there is still some positive price action for Bitcoin if the DXY continues down like it is. Now let's go over the crypto market overview. So looking right now at CoinGecko, where everything's playing out. Bitcoin right now, 112.7K. Nice little bounce from the previous time I looked at it. Ethereum's 41.73. Solana, 220. Good to see on there. Nice little bounce. Looking at Aster, it's at $1.40. Avantis is 206. Good to see on there. Zero Gravity Labs is $5. It's actually launched today. It's one of the top AI protocols. Full disclosure, I'm actually an investor in Zero Gravity, so I'm biased towards it. But nonetheless, they have good tech. The founder went to Harvard, went to Stanford, or he went to Stanford and published some papers for Harvard, and is a very smart guy, knows what he's doing. They raised a lot of money, so it's only a matter of time before we see Zero Gravity Labs potentially higher, but good to see on that. And looking at the top gainers, so we have Mantle up 8.8%. This is Bybit's token. They've been pumping it a lot. And then a few others, Memecore and a few other tokens have been doing good as well. So again, guys, during this time, you want to look at the strong performers. You want to look at which tokens are showing relative strength versus Bitcoin versus the overall market. Because also, if you have the market pumping and your token doesn't do anything, you need to get out of that token 100%. Because if your token can't pump when the market's pumping, well, what do you think it's going to do when the market drops? It's not going to pump. It's going to drop more, right? And so, guys, you have to be able to be true with yourself and be honest with yourself. If you're holding a dead token, get out of it. Invest in something better. AVNT, Avantis, Aster, so one of those tokens that you can hold for the short to medium term that does have solid backing and does have solid support. So again, I just want to stress that because I know a lot of people are holding garbage tokens thinking it's going to 100x when the token doesn't even do good when the whole market pumps. That's your first sign to get out. So just wanted to mention that as well. But let's go over TVL. TVL is looking good. Almost all-time highs, getting closer to that. You can see here, 154 billion. Once it gets to 180 billion, I think we're gonna see some fireworks. We're gonna see more capital flow in and really start to see that rush of capital. And then looking at the fear and greed index, it's at 47 neutral, so not really bullish or bearish, guys. This is why we're having more chop because, I mean, no one is in mass fear yet. Everyone's still looking to buy the dip, which means we could have one more flush, which I do think is gonna happen within the next week or 2 weeks. But besides that, I mean, at least we're still in neutral. We're not in full greed yet. And so we still have more room to the upside, but this is something I'm going to be watching and keeping you guys apprised along the way. And then looking at ETF flows. So right now we're waiting for later today, the results. Last week we had mixed reactions for outflows and inflows with Bitcoin. Same with Ethereum, mixed reactions. And so did the institutions buy the dip today? Did they have more outflows? If they bought the dip today, that could be the bottom. If they did not, and there's more outflows, then we could have further drops over the next few days. So that's my thesis right now for these ETF flows and seeing what institutions are doing currently. Now, I'm going to go over a few more charts, and then I will answer you guys' questions. I know that you guys are flooding the questions right now. I do appreciate it. Again, if you could like the video, I'd appreciate it, guys. Like the live stream. 68 likes, 198 viewers. It'd be very much appreciated. But without further ado, let's go over the price. So here is the chart that I linked earlier in the market updates post. How did I come to this? Well, more or less, I was looking at events that happened in the past, events near new moons, and more or less, this is the pattern that plays out. You have price, kind of making a little full drop and then really trickle down, and then it makes a big bounce, gets people bullish again, then makes a further drop to the downside, making a lower low from that wick down, forming a bullish divergence on the stock RSI, and then continuing higher, right? This is what I'm looking at for price action right now. Just so you guys can keep that in mind, is make a mental screenshot of it, whatever you need to do. This is what I'm expecting right now, is for price to make, again, not a lower low yet, but just go down to 112K, bounce from there, get up to around 114. Hopefully, we can get to our first take profit level. That'd be awesome, near 114.2, 114.3K. And then before retracing lower, getting down to that 110.9K level, forming that lower low, forming that bullish divergence, and then Valhalla after that. And look what date that is, October 3rd. I think the first few days of October are going to be bearish. I think it's going to fake people out. People are going to think, oh man, maybe it's going to be a full bullish month, and maybe September moves to October, and then they're going to start calling all of these targets lower, and they're going to say, no, it's actually not bearish. It's actually the most bullish month, and then they're going to fly to Valhalla after that. That's what I'm thinking. Curious what you guys think of my thesis. Very curious to see where you guys think we're going to go. I know a good friend of mine who's a great trader. He's thinking potentially 108. 108K. He's thinking a little lower down here, 108K, which I could see that as well. Again, that would hit our stop loss, which would be unfortunate, but you got to do what you got to do. You got to prepare and manage your risk accordingly. But yeah, so that's something I'm still keeping in mind. Again, the RSI is still crossing below its signal line on the downside on the daily. Stock RSI still has yet to be oversold, but nonetheless, I do still think that we should have some type of relief bounce in the next few days. And then what we would look for, resistance 114, 116, and then we need to close above 117.5K to really hit that full stride and get into that bullish continuation mode. Now, also I want to point out here, guys, new moons, I mean, the moon phases, guys, are playing out perfectly. Like, you guys, I was talking about moon phases for the past few days. If you were ready, then you'd be securing your profit, setting your stops, and be ready for this drop. Because if you look at the past, full moon, bullish. New moon, bearish. Full moon, bullish. Like, guys, these predict price movements so well. And if you want to learn how to add this to your chart, go to TradingView, go to your indicators up here, type in moon phases, and then you can see here technicals, click on moon phases, and you'll add the chart. It'll actually, I'll show you what it'll look like. It'll look initially, whoops, let me click on the right one. Okay, it'll initially look like this with background colors. So you want to click in the settings, click on the name of it, click in the settings, and then click off background colors, clean up your chart a little bit. But yeah, guys, you can see, I mean, picture perfect for some of these movements, right? It's fairly accurate 90% of the time. So great to see on that front. And then looking at Ethereum. Ethereum fell out of this symmetrical triangle. We were drawing this as well. I was keeping you guys apprised of this pattern, so you should have been prepared whenever we crossed the downside, made that flush. Look where we bounced, guys, exactly at 40.60. I was calling the support. If you guys would have longed at 40.60, it would have been perfect. A nice bounce. Actually, I believe up to 4,200, so that was a 4% move. Very, very nice move. You guys would have been sitting in good profits on that. But nonetheless, looking for Ethereum potentially to make a little lower low here, below 40.60. I know Benjamin Cohen is looking for Ethereum to tap its 21 weekly EMA, which if we put that on the chart real quick, I already have that ready for you guys. That would be near 36 to 3,700. So keep an eye on that, guys. This is a very real possibility. Ethereum can still go down to this level. I would mentally prepare for it. We may have a little pump up to 4,300 resistance, then reject again and maybe go down to this 36, 3,700 level. I would still be ready in case we do come down here, guys, because it's a very real possibility towards the end of September, beginning of October, then from there bouncing to Valhalla. So if you look at the indicators on the weekly, RSI is crossing to the downside, not looking good below its signal line, although the stock RSI is finally reset below overbought, which is very, very healthy. We definitely needed that reset. And if you look at the daily chart, the RSI is still crossing to the downside. The stock RSI is getting oversold, which again is bullish, which could lead me to believe that we do see a little temporary bounce to 4,300 to this resistance. Maybe reject, go a little bit lower, maybe 3,800 before bouncing after that. So that's what I'm looking for Ethereum. And then finally, Solana. And I'll go over AVNT and Aster as well, and then I will answer your guys' questions. I know you guys are eager for me to get to those questions. Again, always much appreciated, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Love that you guys are taking time to watch this live stream. Now, Solana, I did draw a bearish divergence here. And guys, this is a testament why you need to learn technical analysis and chart patterns, because these patterns play out, guys. I keep telling you, bearish divergence, RSI, lower low or lower high, while price makes higher high, and then we dropped. We even front ran the new moon, right? The new moon just added confluence to it. But the stock RSI was making lower highs, and the RSI was making lower highs, while price was making higher highs. Literal bearish divergence, saying there's not enough strength to support this higher high. Boom, downside. So with that said, where do you buy Solana at? Well, we hit our first liquidity pocket zone, 218 to 226. I would wait. I would say 218, you could DCA. And then below that, I would look for 209. That'd be a good little support level. And then below that, 201. So if you're looking at DCA on Solana, 218, 209, 201. That'd be the level. We're either going to bounce here, we're going to bounce here, or we're going to bounce here. So one of these areas are going to get bought up. If you're going to trade Solana, low leverage, guys, 5x or less, and then just DCA down along the way. Your average entry, if you DCA to all these, would be around 209. 209 on a 5x leverage means your liquidation level is $40 away. $40 away from 209 is going to be, what is that, 199, 89, 70, 169. So that's going to be your liquidation price. You wouldn't want your liquidation there. You'd want your stop loss probably below, if I had to guess, I would say 193 would be my stop loss, which 193 minus 209 average entry, I mean, that would be, what is that, 16? 16 divided by, what is that? Math. 16 would be almost a, what, if 209? Oh, that's 8% away. 8% times 5, it's be a 40%. So yeah. So if you averaged entry all of these, you got to 209, your stop loss was at 193, you're at 5x leverage, then if your stop got hit, you'd lose about 40%. So depending if you want to take that, I just said 193 because I'm going below this wick here. That's the main reason. So I know that was a lot of math I just did, but that would be the calculation and why they call me CryptoData. So, all right. So yeah, so for Solana, if we do have a bounce here, what I would be looking for is at least for us, we need to close above 126 or 226. This is a major resistance, right? It's also with the 21 weekly or the 21 daily EMA. So once we get above 226, then I would look for that 240 level for a retest and then finally go up to 250 psychological level and then breaking those all-time highs near 260 afterwards. But the stock RSI still has some room to go before it's oversold. RSI just reset near 50, so Solana could still have some room to go to the downside. Again, just be careful, guys. If you are buying here, just DCA accordingly. Now let's go over Aster and AVNT, and then I will answer you guys' questions. So Aster, right now it's 143. We did have a little inverse head and shoulders. Got invalidated after 166, crossed back to the downside, but it did bounce off of 130. So if you guys can get Aster near 130, great level. Stock RSI on the hourly is oversold. RSI is just below its signal line, looking good there. On the 4-hour, not really anything yet on that, but major resistance, 150 to 155. If we can close above this, it's going to be very, very bullish, guys. Looking for that 170 as the next major resistance, and then after that, 195. So the gist of it here is if you can get Aster near 130, a great level, and then below that, this little pocket between 115 to 120, another good level for Aster as well. But I do still think that Aster is going to continue much higher from here. If I had to look at a pattern drawing and ignore indicators real quick, let me just see something. Okay, I think I'm seeing a pattern. So I think this could be a double bottom here. I think we could see price was lower, bounced, lower, and then boom. That's possible, guys. That's very possible. I'm actually going to keep this. I'm going to keep this open. This is very possible. It could happen. A double bottom on Aster on the 4-hour. So again, you have to be able to visualize these patterns, guys. Repetition is how I recognize these patterns. So visualize them. You will start to see them a little bit easier. And then from there, you will be able to profit off of them. Now, if we have the hourly, does that give us anything? Just looking at some stuff real quick. The hourly, potentially, you could see a descending wedge, if you want to call this. Not as much. Yeah. No, not as much. I mean, fell out of it. Not as much, but nonetheless, I am still supportive of this double bottom here, potentially forming. So keep an eye on that. And then AVNT. AVNT, look at this. Another double bottom pattern here. So AVNT, you had a bottom, bounced up, bottom, and then higher. Granted, we wicked up here, so that's why technically you could say this is a double bottom pattern. But I'm still very bullish on Avantis as well. The indicators are lining up in confluence because we do have the stock RSI almost getting overbought or oversold per se. So that's a nice little bullish catalyst. And then the 4-hour RSI is also looking good for that. So yeah, AVNT is still looking good. If you're looking to buy, I mean, it bounced perfectly, guys, off of our long area of 185 to 190. So if you guys are paying attention to that, very, very bullish on that front. Now, like I said, if you guys aren't following me on X at the CryptoData, definitely do so. Much appreciated, guys. Check all my messages that I have, my pinned messages, everything on my analysis. I post as much good stuff as I can for you guys, so you guys are staying updated as much as possible. But let's go ahead and check out the comments. So it's going to be a lot of comments to go through. I know you guys have a lot of great questions. Let me take a sip of water real quick. And then I will answer you guys' questions accordingly. I got to take a bite of a protein bar too, guys. I have not had anything to eat today. Okay. So, Magic was saying, what to call on the new moon. Yeah. The new moon call was crazy. Like, that thing played out so perfect, and hopefully it helped you guys out. CH says, best support for buying XRP. Let's see what we're looking at here. So, I mean, best support, 275. If you can get at 275, that'd be a good area, and then 260 below that. So I'm expecting one of these scenarios to play out. But yeah, that'd be it for XRP. Stock RSI is almost oversold, and the RSI is getting closer. All right, let's see. Yeah, Vizmuzi said the wick on BTC. Magic says, my favorite new indicator is astrology. Hey, you know what they say, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. Ben says, hey, G, good sleep. Yeah, I got about 3 hours of sleep, 3.5 hours, so better than nothing. I'll try to get more sleep today, though. The Poor says, hi from Somalia. Awesome, good Somalia. Love to see you guys. Awesome, Adrian. Glad you enjoyed it. Glad you enjoyed that live stream. SEO, yes, there's still opportunity in Aster, guys. I'm still bullish on Aster and AVNT. Bori says, what's your target for AVNT? God bless you. Hey, God bless you, Bori. Appreciate you. So AVNT target, I would say $4 to $5. $4 to $5 would be pretty good. Medium term. That's funny, Magic. Hey, I do appreciate your support, Magic. Always appreciated. Sprockro, it's always good to see you in here. Brome's going on. A lot of regulars. Hard Facts has thoughts on Brett. I'm not bullish on Brett, honestly. It's underperformance over the past few months. Just kind of add to that. So I'm eating the Prima Ancestral Protein Bar, guys. It's very good, made with beef tallow, organic ingredients, grass-fed protein. Very, very healthy. Amazonia says, hey, bro, thanks a lot for what you're doing in these free Telegram groups. I really appreciate it. I want to grow my portfolio so I can join the premium group. Just question. Lately, you started posting a few signs. Yeah, so just make sure that, again, you guys are just, taking in all this information and learning as much as possible, guys. That's the biggest thing with these live streams. Make sure you're learning as much as possible. Usama, no problem. I'm glad you're enjoying the live, guys. Magic says that protein bar is fire. Really want to try it? Yes, it is. Take the mocha flavor, the Prima Ancestral Protein Bar, Prima, the mocha flavor, very, very good. Hey, the new setup, Bromes, is looking great. The new setup is great. I can send you guys a picture. Actually, I haven't even posted on my X account yet. I'll have to post it on there. But yeah, the new setup is great, and it's very, very clean. I got a 57-inch monitor, Samsung monitor. I got a Secret Labs Magnus XL desk, Glorious keyboard, a white Glorious PC gaming keyboard, and then a white Glorious PC mouse with a black wooden wrist rest. It's amazing, guys. Ben says cold brew plus protein bar. Ben, you already know. You already know. Actually, I think I saw that coffee. I still have one more of those coffees in the fridge. AJ, should I take a trade on World Liberty or not this time? Thoughts on World Liberty entry and TP1, TP2. Yeah, guys, let me see if I can actually get you guys' questions on the stream so you guys aren't in the dark with everything. So let me see if I can pop this on the stream real quick. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me see what I can do. Okay. You guys should be able to see the live stream now. Let me know if you guys can see the comments. Okay, awesome. Glad you guys see the comments. Okay, let me go back up to the top. I know, guys, I'm chowing down on this protein bar, but I have not had anything today, so I'm hungry. All right, Claudio says, does the new moon play out? Claudio's message is the earliest I can scroll up, so I apologize if I did not get to your question, because there's so many, so it just kind of blocked me from the top. Does the new moon play out within the first 24 hours or 1 to 3 days? No, the new moon's usually like 1 to 5 days it plays out. Usually takes a week. Okay, I'm done with the protein bar for now. Tobias, they'll surely have in-game crypto in GTA 6 like they have in stocks. Yes, that's actually a good point as well. Thanks for reminding me about the in-game crypto for GTA 6. That's going to be a nice little catalyst. Botified says, what are airdrops and where do you have to buy coins to get them on BloFin? Airdrops are like free crypto for holding or trading. A lot of protocols have airdrops. And for the Linea, for the MetaMask airdrop, you just have to swap for Linea on MetaMask and just hold it, supposedly. Brennan, I'm bullish on Aster. Martins, what do you think about Fartcoin not holding 0.7? Do you think we'll keep dropping or can we see a pump? Fartcoin, good support near 60 cents. If it drops below there, it's dead. Robin, what do you do in your free time other than market research and business stuff? So I love to work out. I work out 5 days a week. I watch YouTube videos. I like, watching like educational YouTube videos. I watch Marcus Brownlee. I watch a lot of crypto guys. I watch, what else? Sometimes I'll watch, a series or two, but usually I don't watch too many series on Netflix or anything because I'm always researching and I'm always providing good content for you guys. But yeah, working out is probably the next biggest one. Tim says, I bought Intel stock when you mentioned it in a live stream. It's up about 15% since then. Appreciate the insight. Tim, that makes me feel so good. Guys, anytime you make money from my calls, please let me know. I love hearing about it. I love that, Tim. That is so amazing. And that's the thing, right? Because anytime Trump invests into something, he's going to pump it, right? He's going to pump it. So with stocks, literally they're telegraphing you saying to buy this. They invested $5 billion into it. They're not going to not pump it. Ness, thoughts on Ondo and KTA? Ondo, still relatively bullish on both of those. I know KTA has its mainnet soon. I think you will, Pixel. You'll be eligible for the MetaMask airdrop. But again, the airdrop amount is probably comparable to the amount that you buy. So if you buy $50 worth, maybe you'll get like $10 worth of an airdrop or something, or $20 worth of an airdrop. Jenner says, with Aster's presence, should we buy Hype spot now? No, I'd wait for Hype spot near $42. Hard fact says I can't see your whole screen. Yeah, the whole screen's cut off because just the way the stream was. And my ultra-wide monitor, just the way that is. So if I can, let me see real quick, guys. Let me see if I can, 1 second. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, let me do this. There you go. Okay, yeah. I know you guys couldn't see. That's something there. Yeah. See, so yeah, I'm going to have to adjust my chart as far as so you guys can see the bottoms and stuff. But for now, this is the best I got. But I'll definitely adjust it for the next stream so you guys can see everything. Let's see. Joseph says, I wasn't here a long time because of my regular job, but I watch live after I have time. Is it too late to open long on Aster and should be ready for Bitcoin pump? It's not too long to open long on Aster. I would say 130 would be a good level. War Liberty 5 thoughts. Ask Brennan. If you can get it near 20 cents, maybe. But I did not like that drop on World Liberty 5. That was a crazy drop. John, should we invest in low cap tokens? No, I wouldn't. I mean, they're very, very risky, guys, unless you have a good caller that you're following. Alexander, hope you're doing well. Hey, appreciate you. Hope you're doing well as well. Hope you're doing good as well. Fuzmuzi, are we waiting for E to reach 3.6K so we can start buying, or can we trade it side by side with BTC currently? Technically, you could place a limit order near 4060, see if that gets hit, and then place another limit order near 3700. 5x leverage, again, low, so you're not getting liquidated. That'd probably be my bet as far as if you're going to DCA down. Linea is around 2.85 cents. So Linea, I mean, it's holding somewhat well. War Liberty-Fi, though, had the huge drop, which I don't like. Pixel says OG entry in TP, maybe near $3. TP near 6 to 10. Veer says, is it a good time to long Solana and Fart? Solana 218 and 209. And then Fartcoin, I went over that, 60 cents. Magic, I love the extended bull market thesis. Awesome, Magic. Good to hear. A while ago, I heard two theories. One was a super cycle of 10 years, and the other, the left something cycle, which could end pretty bad and fast. Yeah, let's hope that cycle doesn't end bad and fast, but I do know that we'll probably have a huge drop mid-2026, guys. So you got to make it now before that happens. As-Far says, also, what should we be doing during the bear market, and how should we be prepared for the next bull run and plan things out and take advantage for anyone? You should be making extra money. You should be looking for other online jobs, other jobs with AI, passive income, e-commerce, drop shipping, something else that's going to earn you extra money so you can invest in crypto. Get another job, invest in crypto during the downturn so you can be ready for the upturn. Let's see, Manigo says, Luke mentioned CDL. Does it have the same potential as Aster? No, I still need to do more research on CDL, honestly. Aster is the big dog. CDL is like the first token that was launched there. I still need to look at all their catalysts and if there's promise on there. Motivation Matrix, thoughts on AVAX? I'm bullish on AVAX, 100%. Claudio, ACD, have you ever considered using a Brighter Data? Its platform which uses statistics for trading. What's your thoughts on it? I actually have not heard of Brighter Data, Claudio. Thanks for the suggestion. I'll have to check it out. Tip Topper, there's some big rumors that there's going to announce something major tomorrow. Trump and Powell speak. You have some info on it? I do not have info on it, but I will ask around. Thanks for that heads up. I know that Powell is speaking tomorrow at 12:35 p.m. EST. I actually made a post about that, so we're gonna have to watch that and see what happens. Lucas says, what are your thoughts of Ton and Doge? They're okay. They're okay. I mean, I can go over the charts real quick on Ton and Doge. Give me 2 seconds. So, yeah, I mean, Ton near support at 270, a good level to DCA, and then below that, 250. And then for Doge, broke through its support, almost hit its second support at 22.8. Yeah, Doge looks so-so, honestly. I mean, yeah, I would say, no, it's not going to work out. So, yeah, I would say for Doge, it's, if you can get in near 22.8 cents, it may not be a bad level. And then below that, 22. So, but Doge, I mean, I'm not in Doge. I'm not bullish on it currently. Again, if you guys haven't followed me on X, definitely do so. Always much appreciated, guys. Much love. Let's see. Sukwinder says AVAX analysis. Oh, he wants the AVAX analysis bad. He posted it multiple times in a row. He's serious about that analysis. All right, Sukwinder. Just because you want it so bad, I'll give you some AVAX analysis. All right, so $31, good support. Bounced off this 21 weekly EMA near 29.50. Not bad there. Okay, so I would say for AVAX, 31 and then 28.40. Good DCA levels for AVAX. resistance going to be near the all-time high of 35.20. And then if we go to the 4 hour, there's going to be some resistance as well near 32.70. So if we can break above 32.70, it's going to be bullish, show bullish continuation. But you can see here what we had. We had a descending triangle on AVAX, right? On the 4 hour, technically. You could say we had some rejection. And then, I mean, if I draw it like this, right? Boom. Look at that. I mean, granted, I like to see a little more bounce, like something like this. And then down. But, could still technically work. But yeah, for AVAX, I would like to see a close above 32.70 on the 4 hour. But if you're looking to enter, 31 and 28.40. Because the RSI still crossing to the downside, still has some room to go on the daily. Stock RSI still has some room to go on the daily as well. So I would not rush into an entry right now. Hard Fact says, do you think Linear will break out? I mean, it had its breakout before to 3.5 cents. We made some good profit on that. I don't know if it's going to go any more than that, though, honestly. Magic says, bro, you got to up the volume of the mic for real. Guys, tell me how my mic sounds. Magic is saying I have low voice on the mic. Is it fine or is my mic too low? Let me know. Just say low or good, depending how my voice sounds. Let's see. Are you still in a low leverage BTC long? Yes, I am. I'm still in a low leverage long. Hey, what are you thinking about SUI support? Can it reach 184, 121? Hard to say with that. I mean, for SUI, I'll look at not entering until 315. Greenlands, how about AVAX spot? Just looked at that. Sonic, Sonic is horrible. It's broke. It's major support near 26 cents, and it's just continuing lower. It need to reclaim 26 cents on the daily before I'm bullish on Sonic. Shogun, what could be the ETH trade entry on 3,700? What would be 3 TPs that would be, and where would the stop loss be? Shogun's asking for that full analysis. So first TP would be at 39.90. Second TP would be at 42.70. Third TP would be at 46.30. 39.90, 42.70, 46.30. Okay, I'll go over the Linear chart as well. Linear 28.40. I did not like this little rejection here that we got from the inverse head and shoulders pattern. So it's playing out perfectly, but then it rejected. So for Linear, the next major support's 2.5 cents. If you guys are in spot, I recommend entering 2.5 cents. May not be a bad level, but like I said, we're gonna have to see where the daily closes today. We still have roughly 5 hours before the daily close, and so still very possible that we see much higher from here. But the only thing I don't like is major support was near 2.96 cents, and it's closing below that. So if it closes below this on the daily, guys, probably I'd get out of Linear. Honestly, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, if you're holding it for the airdrop, yeah, you could hold it and wait and see what happens. But I just hate seeing this bearish price action from here. If you can get near 2.5 cents, that'd be a great entry. See, Ben says waiting for Aster at 1.2 to DCA. Yeah, right. 130 isn't bad either, Ben. 130 has been holding for Aster. Claudio says, in terms of percentages, how much does BTC drop normally before bouncing after a new moon? That's a great question. We can actually analyze that real quick and see what the percentage is on that. So if we go, new moon happened, we dropped, if we take the wick into account, 8% there. New moon happened, almost 5%. New moon happened here. %. 8%. 2.4. Okay, so yeah, I might as well take this into account too. 11%. Okay, so 11.86. Let me calculate this real quick. So 11.86 plus 2.4 plus 8.3 plus 2.02 plus 8.35 plus 5.79. Okay, 38.72 divided by, what is that, 6? Divided by 6. Again, this is just a rough estimate. 6.45% is the average, okay? 6.45%. So, $6.45% would be 108K. That's the average price that Bitcoin drops on a new moon. So that would hit our stop loss and we would get close to this major support near 108K. So at the end of the day, guys, could it happen? Absolutely. Absolutely. I would expect this being a likely scenario just as the one I drew is. And so make sure you guys are prepared for it, prepared for that 108K long if it does happen. So it's something I'm going to be watching very, very closely. Dawn says, what do you think about the Giggle coin? Giggle Academy. Yeah, let's go ahead and go over that real quick. Let me pull that up on a chart, and then I will let you guys know. 1 second. I saw CZ was back in that Giggle Academy, and that thing flew. It's actually doing very, very well. Yeah. Wow. Huh. Look at that price, guys. Price got to $50. I mean, what a bounce. Wow. Yeah. That was impressive. That was impressive. All right. So, I mean, Giggle Academy, it looks fairly good to me. It looks fairly good to me. I mean, price has been respecting near this $23 support. So if CZ continues to support it, it could be very, very good, right? I know CZ's been supporting a lot of different coins recently. So very, very possible. Okay, talking about Pal's speech. A lot of questions, guys. A lot of questions. Hold on, let me answer a text that I got. 1 second. All right. So, all right, yeah, a lot of questions, guys. Let's, Okay, guys, so I'm just gonna have to spitfire these questions because there's so many of them. So if I don't get to your question, I do apologize, but there is a lot here. So I just gotta spitfire them real quick. Yep, premium central protein bars are very good. World Liberty Fight not as bullish. Pangu still bullish. Ondo still relatively good. RWA token. Sui 315. Do I take supplements, Luca? I take creatine monohydrate. Yep, by Creapure. Okay, so I went over the gold market earlier. Went over gold. Still bullish on gold long term. So for meditation, Claudio, you just have to, just learn to silence it. So start doing 1 to 2 minutes and just focus on your breathing. Count something, right? Just focus on the breathing in and out. That's going to help you focus on the present and stay away from all the intrusive thoughts when you're trying to meditate. John says ASMR. Sorry says, I'm currently holding ETH. What do you recommend to switch to so I don't get ripped from the market right now? Hard to say, sorry. Hard to say. Maybe AVNT or Aster. Stay stoic. No, I don't think Bitcoin's going to get to 90K. It's hardly ever okay to do 20x leverage unless you're trading on Bitcoin. As far as, because people don't understand crypto, that's why they think it's a scam. They're scared of stuff they don't understand. One for all, Sonic. The analysis for that is it needs to get above 26 cents before it's bullish again. But it's very bearish. I already went over AVAX analysis. CRV, no thoughts on it. I would ask ChatGPT, Bromes, about connecting to Aster, your wallet to Aster Dex, and it'll help you out. Hemi Protocol, I'm tentatively bullish on it. tentatively bullish on the protocol. Cass, no opinion on Cass. Trump can do what he wants. Yeah, he's president. He can pump the token if he wants. Aster going to $2 by the end of September. It's possible. Yeah, if CZ keeps pumping it like he is. Yeah, so basically gender to DCA on leverage, all you got to do is just take your amount that you would invest. So 10%, let's say your trading portfolio is $2,000, 10% of that's 200, and you're going to DCA at 3 levels, and you do 33% of that each. So it ends up being, what, 3% of your trading port at each DCA level for three DCAs. Ed Cooper says CD face reveal at BTC 250K. That's funny. Tip Topper, do you know Akash or AIZ token? What do you think about them? Akash is okay. I mean, but I think a lot of those tokens had their hype. Oh, Ness says, I think mainnet went live. Oh, okay. If it already went live, let me know how it went. Let me know if it was successful or not. Thoughts on Render? Still somewhat bullish on it. John, I mentioned my thoughts on BTC already. So I am still expecting some chop, maybe a drop to 111K before continuing higher. Yep, exactly, Eswar. Fax says, hey, what do you think about Pangu? Still relatively bullish on Pangu if you can get it between 2.84 cents and 2.95 cents. Yeah, it's different because of the demand, Robin, and sorry, I'm getting some emails. Yeah, it's different because the order book size and just the different ways that it's calculated. No thoughts on Pi Network, RJR. I draw trend lines on candlestick bodies, Claudio. I don't draw trend lines on the wicks, although you can still draw it on the wicks just to give you a range to DCA into. But at the end of the day, yeah, I just trade basically on the bodies. Maddie says, hey CD, love the content as always, appreciate it. What are your thoughts on Sun? So yeah, so Sun token, good point actually. Sun token actually pumped a lot. Sun token pumped because obviously Justin Sun wanted to pump it, but it got listed on Upbit recently. The strength has been very, very impressive. I think this was the Upbit listing here. I can pull up the hourly chart actually. Yeah. So this was the Upbit listing. Nice little pump there, and it kept going. So good job for anyone that got into Sun. I mean, perfect entry on that. That's why it pays, guys, to again have those notifications on when a token gets listed on an exchange. And then you can be able to react accordingly. Now, as far as price is concerned, good area to DCA Sun, 2.7 cents if you can get it. Maybe 3.2 cents if it closed the daily above it. So, yeah, that'd be my thought process. But, I mean, indicators are getting overbought, and so I'd just be careful on Sun right now. I would, at the very least, maybe not DCA until 3 cents, around 3 cents. Krishna says, I'm holding BTC. It's a good time to buy more BTC by average price is 115. If you can get it near 111, Krishna, I think it'd be a good price to get it. Robin, we did 112K last month from one of our brands, 64% profit, and also watching your live, do some research on X and heavily investing in markets. John Luke, CryptoData is giving us great opportunity. Thanks. Hey, Robin, that's so awesome. Congrats on that. Love to see businesses doing great. Okay, everyone says my mic is good. So Magic, I think you should just turn up your volume on your computer, your overall speaker volume, or your YouTube volume, one or the other. See, Naruto says, do you think Sui goes lower than $3? I don't think so, which is why I would have longs near maybe 315, like a 3 to 5x long. What's the next AVNT and Aster? If I knew that, I would already be sharing it, Samuel. Sampurna says, is the RR for the BTC trade not very bad? So it depends, right? If you're lowering your average cost of entry, it could be very good. Because at that point, if you're looking for a final take profit near that 119K level or that 116.7K level, and your average entry is near 112K, then it could be very, very good. Some people said low, some people said good for my mic. Looks like the majority say good. I may increase the voice a little bit, but I just don't want to have popping. That's the biggest thing. No thoughts on Aerodrome or UB. Okay, Magic, we'll do. I'll compare this video with another video on YouTube, and I'll adjust the voice accordingly. Appreciate it. I think it's a good time to start DCAing X, but not fully long just yet for BTC, ETH, and Sol and Hype. No thoughts on UB. Ooh, a lot of questions, guys. I am not even... Wait, am I? Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Hey, no problem, Naruto. Appreciate it. I just try to read as many comments as I can. I love the Elliott wave theory. Wyckoff on crypto is a great one. Yes, we do need one more flush, Franklin. How often do moons appear? Veer asks. I think it's every couple weeks. I know that the full moon is like October 6th, I think. The next full moon. Awesome, Robin. You're making some good money on that. Pengu, like I said, bullish, 2.85 to 2.95 cents. Not sure when the lenient airdrop is. Render, tentatively still bullish. I see Aster going between $4 to $5 in the coming months. APX is unreal. Yeah, the APX pump is wild, Ed. So crazy. Elix, bro, thanks for all the good info you share. What time frame do you find most effective to do scalping on BT? Scalping? So I don't really scalp that much, but if you're going to scalp, 15 minute, maybe to the hour, 5 to 15 minute time frame. So Brett, I'm not even bullish on Cognito. I'll do a... You guys are relentless for Pengu, aren't you? You guys are like Pengu to the moon. Okay, guys, I'm going to do a couple more questions and I got to end the stream because it is getting a little overtime here, but I do appreciate you guys watching. I'm still on about 3.5 hours of sleep, but want to make sure you guys get the best content. Yeah, like I said here, guys, 2.85 to 2.95 cents on Pengu. That's my analysis on that. Okay. Have I heard about BlockDAG? Yeah, I think it's with a partner to War Liberty 5. They're doing very good. It's supported by War Liberty 5 team. Here's the chart for Aster, guys, if you guys want to see it. Again, potential double bottom here. Bullish at 130 if you can get it. Hey, no problem, Hootie. You can watch the live stream afterwards. Appreciate you listening in, though. Stop loss could be 34.90 Shogun for ETH if you longed it at 37,300. When does it start the real bull run? By mid to end October. Hey, no problem, Avatar. Glad you're enjoying it. Stoic says, when's the turning point in crypto after you make the 2K in 1 month? Heard you saying that going full-time crypto is good when you have a 10K portfolio. Yeah, so if you can make between, I would say probably 3 to 4K per month. If you can make that consistently in crypto, you can probably start to go full time. But yeah, you got to have at least a 10K nest egg before you start that. So you have your rent money ready and you're not too stressed about making that money. But yeah, if you're consistently making 3 to 4K per month in crypto, you could go full time. But again, I would like to make more than that. Daniel, love your video. Can you please tell you are talking about spot trading or future? Is it good to buy meme token on spot? Meme tokens on spot, yes. I'm talking about futures trading when I talk about longing for Solana, Bitcoin hype, and all those. Yeah, in a bull market, Stoic. In a bear market, you want to look at doing other sources of income, like online, e-commerce, etc. Let's see. So for Gym Hunters Premium, David, link is going to be in the description. If you want to join Gym Hunters Premium, it's 1 Ethereum for a yearly subscription. You get more leverage calls, altcoin calls, and everything in between. So definitely look at joining that. And then, yeah, if you have any other questions about anything else, also if you haven't followed me on X, you can follow me on X as well. I have a lot of good info on there. Let's see. Yeah, I still think Aster can go $4 to $5. I still think it's very possible. I am an outsider, Stoic. I'm an outsider. I'm probably one of the only people in crypto in my family and extended family, but I'm making it happen. Luca, is it a good idea to open a short on Aster? No, I wouldn't short CZ right now. Let's see. Samuel, sorry, can you analyze the UB graph? I think it would be a great opportunity. Yeah, I'll do that, and that will be the last chart, guys. That'll be the last ones. I hope you guys have found good info. The UB chart, is this something on Deck Screener? I'm assuming it is. Unibase. All right, so 3.5 cents, not a bad support level, and then potentially 2.9. Yeah, 3.5 and 2.9. That'd be the area I'd look for Unibase with resistance at 4.6 and then 5.2. That's my thesis on that. And then, all right, cool. Awesome, guys, awesome. I saw one more question. Where was it at? A few others. Someone, oh yeah, Core and WTC. I'll go over Core and WTC just real quick. Okay, Core, man, I don't even know what to say about Core. Core, if you can get it near 35 cents, that'd be a good entry potentially there. That's what I'd look for Core. And then for WTC, Walton Chain. No, I'm assuming there's a different token WTC. Yeah, not sure about the other WTC. But with that, guys, that is going to do it for the stream. Again, I appreciate you. Love all of you. Thank you so much for watching the stream. Peter asked, how do you find coins that CZ invests in? Arkham will tell you, CZ will tweet about it, or he'll basically just tweet about it or reply to a comment. So just have your notifications on for CZ's tweets and you will know which coins he invests in, and then look at Arkham or other wallet trackers and they'll be able to tweet about it as well. So, but guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, love all of you. If you guys haven't liked the live stream, please like it, much appreciated. If you guys aren't following me on X at the CryptoData, definitely you do so. I'll link my account in there as well. If you guys aren't following, always much appreciated, guys. And have a great rest of the week. And I will keep you guys updated every day this week for market updates. So stay tuned for that, guys. Talk soon. See you later.